If you knew me before, you wouldn't even look my way. If I had the nerve to speak, you wouldn't hear what I say. Time has come and gone so fast, we're not who we used to be.
And welcome back to Sullivan's Unheard Voices. I am here with Hobbies Puppets. First of all, thank you for having me on your podcast the other day. Like, this concept that you have is freaking brilliant, man. Just brilliant. And how the heck did you come up with this idea?
One day I knew I was having surgery. I grew up kind of like with the Muppets and stuff like that, and Fraggle Rock and all that as a younger gentleman. But as an adult, I never really healed with it, right? But by that time in my life, I knew I had a surgery coming up. I knew I had to go somewhere for my healing, for my mental health. Like I didn't have another surgery into me. I couldn't do it alone, and I'm prideful, so I couldn't ask anybody to sit there with me either and help me. So I knew it was like a self thing. And just one day I woke up and was like, "Hey, Ma, you got any like fabric and like I'll take foam, this and that. And I'm gonna make myself a body." She looked at me the weirdest look she ever looked, just looked and was like, "Dude, what?" I'm like, "I'm gonna make a puppet, so I have someone to talk to while I'm healing." She said, "Okay." So I did that, and I did. I got sick of talking to myself, so I found like TikTok and started doing it. Was puffing with the puppet, and was doing other things, riding turkeys, just a lot of joy trying to bring it. And as I was healing, the more I got advanced on things I got to do, like I could crawl down the stairs and go outside with the puppets. And
That's pretty awesome, man. And it's 420, so I think we have to do the official 420 movement.
I agree.
I love it.
So yeah, it's amazing when you do something. A lot of people will want to jump on the boat with you, and when you break around away from them, they still like try to toot your own horn, dude. Right? It's
Yeah.
and I find it brings you value, and I found a lot of people want to be in a spotlight, or they just want your sponsors or this or that. When all in all, this was just so I didn't blow my head off. Each day that I wake up and and I can smile and I go out and I be a better me that day, it's a win for me.
I can relate to that 100%. So I've been dying to ask you, like, how did you get the functionality of the puppet to do the smoke?
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to waste the hit. So, functionality wise, I started out with a real low hose. My original puppet, Badoinka. Let's grab him. Um, he had a real small hose, and and it shot out the lip right here. And um, every time I would, every time I would take a hit. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had my voice. Yeah. So every time I took a hit, Mr. Hobby's ears, the smoke would come out of the ears, and it wouldn't come out of me because the hose was too small. So we had to back burner that shit until we got a bigger other puppets or a bigger hose. But by then, he forgot about me, the asshole. Yeah, that's why we don't bring Bedoink up. He's uh, he's kind of
He's kind of
moody.
bitter.
Yeah, he holds people hostage with his feelings because he doesn't know how to express them in a non bitching manner.
Oh, I love that. I love everything about that. And how long have you been doing your podcast?
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah. So I was doing my podcast. Oh, the switchover, man! Holy cow, dude! Now I know how method actors like go and walk out with McDonald's without paying it because they're a crook of act, subject beforehand when they were doing the studio. Anyways, yeah. So, what was the call? Oh yeah. What?
How long you been doing this?
Oh yeah. So 5 years. 5 years we've been doing this, but
Wow.
for the podcast, I think Kim out of NOK Network, we started out with like radio, internet radio, iHeart, and then Live 365, and then we broke away. It's everybody doesn't have the same fire and the same heart, so. I went back to just being myself, and then Kim saw that I was available, and she needed a host for subbing on her daily podcast of puffing with everybody across the world. And I took one of the sub jobs, and it became into a Saturday, and then I've held that Saturday, I think, for 2 years now, 3 years.
That is so awesome. Like to be a part of the network where you're like globally and like you just that how cool must that feel like to know that somebody over in maybe even Uruguay is watching your
Um,
podcast.
I get. Can I say I get off on that idea? Because I do. I get off on that idea. I'm an international puppet. I started out as an international puppet of a woman who was an author in the UK. Believed in me, and she loved Bedoinka. She wrote a book that I have up here on the bookshelf over here. That Bedoinka and Bob, our battery operated boyfriend puppet, he is in the movie. Well, they're the voices for a cartoon because it went into a screenplay for that. And so, like internationally, somebody believed in us in UK before America did.
See, and that's awesome. I really do think that's really awesome.
Oh yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of talent worldwide, and it's uh, here as they build up film south and Hollywood south or whatever they call it down here and build up the film industry. A lot of people want to keep it secluded to just either America or to Louisiana, and that's where us puppets are. And I can't do that because I already have friends that are in Oregon that I would, put onto a show with me. So I wouldn't be just filming in Louisiana because some of those friends, it's hard for them to travel. And uh, it, I have dreams of the puppets watching different shows and different like odd movies because building up and finding these creators and putting them in other series or other movies or bringing them on and I mean it's been a while since a good show has been based off of another show that was in a show and so that takes filming, or that takes other. They're always not going to be in Louisiana, and I can't do it.
And if especially if it's no longer fun, right? So if it's something you're doing that's fun, like stick with what you got and just like keep being you,
Oh,
right?
I am. Us puppets want to be Monopoly. We want to be the bald headed fucker that sits and takes Puppet World, and we take like all the sources. Maybe not the kid one. We maybe not won't touch the kid one because there's so many people out there looking to sell their adult ideas and do adult things with their puppets. There's an adult puppet builder, and Phil, and he's over in the UK. And even though he has a kid puppet, his kid puppet, because of the UK laws are different than the American laws, can sit next to a Guinness without getting his brand kicked in the dickles. Now, us, if we were a kid puppet and we sat next to a beer with our puppet, we'd probably lose our job.
Right, because you can't cross over, right? It has to be exactly what it is. And so if you're in a kid puppet, you have to be a kid puppet every time, all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That would get old.
It would. Anyway, and I got nothing against kids, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't want to be the dick, but I mean, again, you got to remember what fueled me to do this wasn't money, wasn't popularity. It was for my own mental health. So for me, those that are struggling right now, and I know kids are struggling because I also came from being a struggling youth, adults need healing. Adults need that inner self, that child self when things were, I guess, decent and safe.
And that makes a huge difference, right? Like, and I know, like, especially in times when you have a low and you're looking for something that to sort of lift you up, having that sort of childlike but yet just for adults component, I always thought was very entertaining. And I think there's a market for that because people want to watch puppets, but we don't want to watch kids stuff. Like, we don't want to learn the alphabet. We don't want to like do all that other stuff. Like, no, I want to have a really amazing conversation with a puppet and have adult conversations because that's fun too.
Right. Right, it is, man. And I can't wait till I could do so much more. I mean, it's like I got to the point where I can't afford myself because I mean, all this like costs money. You can have friends wave VIPs all the time, but pretty soon that pride, like it's you're gonna feel like a rent a friend being brought into the VIP section all the time.
And do you get invited to the VIP section all the time?
Yeah, no, New Orleans. New Orleans, there's a baker that we had on the iHeart radio station when it was Weed Radio. And ever since then, I was friends with her. She contracted a puppet through Mr. Hobbies and became a medical baker puppet. And she's a beautiful doll. She teaches people how to cook medibles and be sassy through a gorgeous puppet. She's the first Mr. Hobby's film puppet. So she has two entry points from the bottom and through the back, depending on what your shot needed.
Okay, that's awesome. So, did I just hear you right? You make puppets for other people?
We don't. We make puppets for ourselves, and if people give us ridiculous amount of money, we make a puppet for them. But I mean, it's very rare. I mean, it's not, and I'm not doing it because I want to rip someone off. I'm doing it because I fall in love. We fall in love with the puppets. I mean, we don't have a chick around here, so we didn't want to get rid of that edible puppet.
Oh, that's great. That's freaking great. Because one of the things that's been happening to me with this podcast since I've started it, and this is especially the case like the last, I don't know, 3 4 months, I'm starting to get invited to all of these sort of VIP behind the scenes events, and I'm like pinching myself all the time because it's like, why me? How am I so lucky? But at the same time, I'm like, I'm all about it.
Right. If you can do it, it's a fuck of an experience, and I'm not really complaining. It's nice, but you also want to there's other places you want to go with VIP, and you don't have that access yet.
100% right. And I don't know if I would ever want that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I like kind of right where I'm at right now, and it's one of those things where I do this for fun and to have great conversations, and I could care less really what happens with it. You know?
Right, right. I get it. I get it. Not me. And I don't know if this is narcissism, and if it is, I can call it what it is. But it's after sweating and after starting out, laying on the floor, doing what it is I do, sweating in the heat it is I do, kneeling in like shit piss in the alleyways to get a shot while I'm down in the city just to get a good shot so someone feels like, whoa, dude, that was a good shot. I like to think that I was getting towards the point where I want a bigger platform. I want to everybody else that is sweating, they're there.
I get that,
And
and
yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's I took the ugliest puppets on purpose, and I'm not saying it on purpose, because I mean it's just how they came out. And I took something where people told me I wouldn't ever be able to market, from talking about penis conversations to shit to this or that, and it's not because I'm a obscene puppet. It's because I want, if I can hold the crowd, if I could get people to laugh and chuckle while I'm talking about the stupidest shit, I took it further than most people would I guess take it seriously. I got bands that are wanting to hire puppets. I mean, what the fuck?
so who's been one of your favorite guests so far?
My favorite guest was Jorge Cervantes, and that was when we were on the Weed Radio iHeart. Um, and well, we just broke away, started our own, but I don't promote for them. So um, I love Jorge. He inspired me to be me and to do things for right intentions without even knowing he did it, just by talking about like him growing cannabis, people getting his books, and not him marketing it, but them marketing him, them wanting him, them wanting to put him in places, book him for stuff. And it's like it made me think, hey, dude, I kind of want that. It's I sweat, I've bled for things I've done. Us puppets made a strain. We did this, we did that with it. It's like, man, it's let's see where the crowd takes us. Not us going out into the market and going out into the big world. And no, let's market the brand that like even talent agents say, well, he's not gonna go far doing stuff like that. We want them like 3 4 months later, like in this happened, taking pictures of us doing our show, going, holy shit.
I get that. And so like when you first started out and you said you were like trying to get these shots where you were like having to sort of lay down in the middle of the road and all that stuff, was the original version more of like a sketch kind of thing?
Uh, it's all improv. It's and when I get my shot, I gotta be real because puppets don't fly. I mean, unless we have a flying puppet, you gotta get low to the fucking ground. And if you don't have a puppet trolley, like the professional, like back to Phil Fletcher, he has a puppet trolley that he made, and he'll zip around on that on the CDCC or CC whatever the BBCC kid version is, and he'll be like, wow, wow, zipping around doing that. Well, I mean, we don't got resources yet. Blowing people's, helping people not blow their head off doesn't pay very well. So we're sitting there laying on the ground at times, even without a blanket, and just sitting there. Actually, today, Tommy's doing a shot for today's Stoners, well, tomorrow's Stoner Cup games, and we were laying. Funnily, we were laying on a blackberry prickly bush to get the flower shot that we wanted in the field that we were in.
Mad respect for that. I've done a few remote podcasts, but nothing like that, I have to say. Are you able to answer some weed related questions?
Yeah, sure.
So, like, one of the things that I've always been curious about, and what's the difference between like sativa and indica?
So, that's a controversial one, man. To be honest, that's a controversial question. People will argue with you
Interesting.
that there is not a difference. Other people will argue with you there is a difference. Uh, you can take a indica, um, cut it and cure it at a time when it is cloudy before it is bronze with the trichomes, and you'll have a sativa like upfield to it. Same with like the sativa. If you wait till it gets to the golden browns, it will have a sedative effect as well to it. So that is what makes it controversial to snobs. Other people, like, I mean, shit, you give Tommy or like not Bob a fucking sativa, dude. I mean, you think they're crackheads, dude. They're like, they just don't shut up.
And then what's the difference between like those cartridges and like flour?
So cartridges and flowers. So this is my way of explaining it simple. I would keep it simple, stupid guy, because I mean that's what they taught me
Please.
when I didn't want to be a dumbass. You know, is keep it simple, stupid. And so I would say that for the flour, keep in mind that it's going to be dirtier than any taste you taste past taking off just those trichomes. Now, if you in a cart and you mix it in with a PTVG, you're gonna get that like in your throat, really hard coughing because it's not just terps itself and the concentrate. It's there's something in it to keep it from burning too hot or for it to smell or flavor or whatever the company why they did it. But if you have a rosin cart, you're going to get a cleaner hit than you would if you took off a flour bowl, because flour, the I guess plant matter is just that. You're smoking plant matter.
Thank you for that. And then I always was curious because like everybody always says like it's a different kind of high, but I think high is high.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
to me, I will get higher on a vape pen, a cart, or a concentrate, more than I would on a bowl, because that's like smoking hash without the plant matter. I mean, that's just taking those trichomes, all that yumminess, and that's doing it. But I will smoke. I will try to combine all of it because I like the universal high. Like if I could throw an edible in there in the day too, that would get me like grounded fully that I need for because I take it not only for mental health, but I also take it for pain.
And I think that's a really good thing for people to understand too, because like if you're talking about one of the better painkillers that's not addictive at all, marijuana is one of those options.
Yeah, it is. But you should be mixing it with like a CBG or a CB, and something that has an inflammatory property. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if I memory selects me, THC itself doesn't. I mean, isn't an inflammatory like it'll help like mess up the receptors, I guess, and cloud up the brain, but it's not like it's not really helping the inflammation. It's argumentable, but it's help.
But that CBD stuff has that
C-
anti-inflammatory properties, right?
CBG will. Yeah,
CBG.
I would look into it.
What's the difference between CBG and CBD?
That there's a difference. It's the same as CBN as well. I'm not knowledgeable enough to teach that, but the MedCard guy that we hang out with, he would know. The hemp guys would know that we hang out with. But I myself, we're I guess you could say we're field testers.
Mad respect. I totally get that. And sometimes that's just the best way to be.
Right. We're the
So
because nobody wants to test with mice anymore. So us puppets are cute, lovable mice.
who are prime for being able to test
Yeah,
substances.
yeah. Yeah. Cop comes along and he's just like, "Oh, what the fuck is this? Are you doing drugs, Mister Puppet?" And they're like, "What? I'm a cute, fluffy puppet. What the hell are you talking about, drugs, asshole?"
Yeah, good luck getting a blood test from
Yeah,
me.
right. Where would you stick the needle?
Oh, I know where they can stick the needle. Oh gosh. So have there been any places that like you really liked recording an episode?
Okay, yeah. All right. We go to this really cool thing every once in a while called the NOLA Secret Session. What the NOLA Secret Session is it is a group of pop-up vendors, musicians, and because of the people that throw it on, are part of like a big label or whatnot. Like people actually have to pay like $150 for a 10-minute slot if they want a slot. Yeah, so like people are paying money to get their brand out at this place, and it's interesting. And so that's our favorite place. And we're working with them on trying to get a monthly New Orleans cannabis show going. But I mean, we know we can't just seclude it to them because there's more than just one pop up, and so right now that's our favorite place because they everybody that tries to be them, they fall short, and they're not throwing it on. The people aren't there. The vibes are really there. That's our favorite place. Now, our friend has a studio where we've recorded that the Baker lady. She lets us record there sometimes, and she's brought us like King Mike, who was like Diesel's brother. She brought us the director of Sidewalks, the movie. She's introduced us to Poppy H, which is Little Wayne's cousin. I mean, we sat in the VIP behind her booth at one of those pop ups, hanging out with like our blunt roller buddy that now calls us Ken. Um, and it's like, wow, dude, it's
That's so awesome. That's got to be so much
It,
fun.
it is, and again, it feeds the head, and you want more because now you're stepping up and you're bringing a tier of entertainment that you would never thought that you would bring to the world, and you're like, whoa, like something big up there is really fucking helping us step our game up. And it's like, we've been ran over, we've been drowned, we've been through so many death, life experience and so much shit that is like everything else now is like a miracle.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Like it wasn't even 2.5 years ago when I had a rollover accident involving a riding
Ooh,
lawnmower, and really could have killed
Oh
myself.
yeah, that
And
would sound fun.
every day since has just been a blessing.
Oh man, I'm glad you're here.
Oof, me too. It landed on my head. I cracked 6 teeth. Had a pretty nasty concussion. It was pretty bad. Thank you.
Whew. Yeah, thank you. It filled in the time. The people, if they're just listening to us, they don't see me like blowing the smoke. They're like, dude, is this guy like slow? He keeps pausing. Every time he talks, I'm like,
Oh no, but if you're a stoner, you know exactly what's going on.
So, ironically, that is our highest TikTok reel. I think we stopped paying attention after like 7,000 views, and it was Todd sitting there going, I am here to do a vintage 70s sound of ASMR. And then you heard the bomb going.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
And then he would blow it out going. So he wouldn't get banned from TikTok, right? And this puff of smoke is going. Doot, 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 doot.
Oh, you imagine how many people are probably smoking right at the exact same time too. That's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, there's people. Yeah, there was even
Oh,
people like that, and there's a lot of people that don't like puppets, and they're like, "I don't like puppets. This is really fucking creepy, but I can't stop watching."
well, you know, if you would have told me even like before we met that there was a podcast with a puppet that's able to smoke pot and just enjoy himself on the, I would have been like, I have to see this. Like you can't see this anywhere else.
No.
It's awesome.
So, Mr. Fart, ooh, excuse me. Mr. Foot, he doesn't have a problem. He's a social drinker. He isn't a socialite drinker. He's a social drinker, and so he can actually have a real drink, and he'll sit and he'll pour himself a drink, and it's like stuff like that. And now we're getting to the point where he's going to get remodeled. And he's going to be able to drink that drink, like and beers and other things, and that's our hope. And so when we go to these bigger VIPs and they got the big bottles or the expensive like drinks, and we can drink them. Like right now, we can drink them through a straw, but I mean that's a really rough night if you're drinking a drink through a straw.
Oh yeah, just to be able to down it in front of the audience too would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah, and it is. It's
brilliant
well,
idea.
and it's man, it's so much harder, tougher of a world because everybody's brain is so ADD. So you're like trying to entertain this world, and you got to think out of the box. And I think that's why we're fucking doing it is because we don't have no damn training, so we've been out of the motherfucking box since like day one.
And I know it's and for me it's like I love long form conversations where you can actually get to know someone, but people don't want to have that conversation. So outside of this podcast, it's really like impossible for me to sit down with somebody and talk with them for an hour because nobody wants to do that. They don't have the attention span anymore, I
No.
guess. It's really weird.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. If we're not, oh, well, I'm surprised Jade hasn't thought about calling us on a podcast and talking to us about the day, because there's so many times she'll tell us, and we can pay attention to like anybody through a podcast. But when she's talking to us, all it is like the Charlie Brown people, like the. It's just my head. It's my head's constantly creating and it's not her, it's me, and I can accept it. And she's, I guess, kind of accepting it.
But see, that's what makes brilliant or really amazing artists, right? When things just keep coming to your head and you feed those ideas and you kind of nurture that and you just move on and that just seems to me like the best possible life to live.
Or yeah, so check this out. Just to go off of what you just said, using that film for the past couple days, we've been filming, and just on a dream shot of me, Tommy, was us going out and sitting there going swimming. So Mr. Hobbies is doing all the stunt work and stuff like that. So IMDb, thank you for recognizing stunt doubles and stuff like that now in the database because Mr. Hobbies might get recognized as he keeps on like doing flips for us in movies. So, anyways, as he's sitting there and he's doing her jumping, he's probably jumping. Dave made him jump in that pool. Like I think she probably had the shot on number one, and she kept on having him like so jumping it. Like yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we did that for about a half hour, and that shot was just for like what, a 2 minute dream.
Interesting. And then what are you going to do with the video itself?
So every year at the 710 Stoner Game Cup, which is usually on the Saturday that 710 weekend falls on in Canada, boss Kim Cooper for not NOK Network holds that annually at like what you would call here a cannabis cup. A Canadian version of it, and they play stoner games. They have psychedelic bonfires. They have like Camper Thursday was everybody showing up and getting ready and like yeah, and it's every more than anybody's welcome. There's even a cup version where you get samples, but because of the laws, they can't ship that over the border. But I suppose what she could do if people from the United States go up there, your cup would be waiting for you. You just wouldn't be able to submit judging, but all the judging like kit items would be for you to smoke when you show up. For the cup, which would help you out as a patron being from the United States because you can't take that on the plane, so it'd be there for you.
When is that?
So she holds it every 710 weekend. So like this weekend, it started 710, which was the Thursday. So it always starts like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then last day Sunday. Everybody's going home. So Saturday is always the Stoner Games Cup, where the adults go and get high and play games. So they're like playing rally games, like running up, taking a hit of the dab, and then running fucking back. Last year they had these big inflatable chickens and buckets and stuff, and people were like falling over it. I mean, nothing's funnier than a big inflatable cock running down and people riding it. So I mean, that was real funny. But we've been for 3 years now. We've been the halftime show. So this year, last year we did the Stoner Cup game puppet version where the puppets were doing it. And then, but we were playing miniature golf, testicle race, where like all that was, it was a ping pong ball going down a ramp, like all different colored testicles, beautiful rainbow of testicles. And then we had a version of Jade teaching how to make a edible infused soft, like a fruit drink, using a powdered THC solution. And then we did that, and then Mr. Foot took her for a ride on the golf cart for a little bit. And then that was the end. This year we reached out. We're doing a Louisiana theme, so we fell in love with down here. Met a lot of kick-ass musicians, and a lot on the urban side and stuff of talented beat makers. And so now we are going to play a couple songs from Ramble to God, a couple of songs from his brother Scoob, which makes up Pork and Beans label. And they came from major labels and caliber of people that, without mentioning, just, I mean, they went to the independent scene with basically big people talent. And so great songs. And after we're done here, us puppets get to sit down and do a little puff sesh with King Mike, and he's gonna show us a unreleased um, song that is usually not in his box. And so this is going to be his chance to kind of put that out into the world. And we've been holding off. We've been trying to get him to get Diesel on in this call. But you know, three-time Grammys. Yeah, I mean, not they want. I don't know. Someday, you know, you might see Todd sitting there going, "Oh, so this is how you make beats," or some shit like that. Who knows? But uh, we also reached out to one of the artists that will pay 150 for himself to get heard out because he feels he's worth it, you know, and and he sings at a high caliber as a Haitian singer, so he has a lot of accent to him, and that's Blazy B. And I mean, yeah, these are all. I guess in a way we kind of plugged what we have for upcoming shows and other artists that've been on the show, but the Louisiana scene, and I can't help but to show, like, as these scouts or as these people watch us puppets, to show us that, you know, we, we tapped into a marketplace where people believed in us, where you wouldn't think a puppet would tap into a marketplace.
And I'm already looking at my calendar for next year because if that's something that happens every year, then I will most likely be there next year because that sounds epic.
Oh well, I can't go. I'm a felon. Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah, that's why we're someday, medically here you can smoke. You can't share it technically because it's your meds. So unless everybody had a joint and everybody had their med card, it would be hard to hold a function like that here in Louisiana. Like the place would have to be recreational.
Or have to do it something like
Yeah,
Oregon.
yeah, where it's recreational, right? Yeah.
But I mean, like, because you're talking about on 710, it's in Canada, right?
Yeah, uh, Englehart, Ontario. So it's like way up north, the top of like Ontario, like way up there.
I'm I may go to that
Oh,
next year.
you know, and as a podcaster, dude, you would be there around other podcasters that have been, dude, it would be such a fucking kick-ass opportunity for you. And I only say that because Kim's actually, she looks for you as podcasters, dude. She literally does. And you being there would be, I guess, anytime you can sit down and someone can see you work, I would say go do it. And so, you know, it would give her a chance to see how you work, a crowd, how you know, how your social skills were. And and the cool thing I like about Kim is she's very liberal in her beliefs. Like things that have shown on the show, or like, you know, people who normally wouldn't be like people like, I'll use the word, people think she's a bigot at times. Like there have been some rainbow family people think that she has been speaking out against them, but she don't speak out against them. She speaks out as an individual, as a whole. What makes your individual advocacy different than everybody else's advocacy?
And she probably wants you to talk. You know, she wants to know it's not just talk.
Yeah,
She wants to know that you're walking the walk
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Yeah, it's I never thought that she would be one of my better viewers, and I don't know if she's just screening us, you know. but but it's like one day we were talking in reviews, and I was like, Kim, if I could produce a show with a burlesque feel of how New Orleans was and cover gay, trans, male, and female burlesque dancers. Would I be able to do this on your show? And she says that if I could do it in a tasteful way, and I said, well, and that would be my. I mean, fine, yeah, I'll try it's tasteful, but it's like again, it's the she gives us if you earn the trust, she gives you the room. And it's like I've had the N word is probably my only probably like bad review because a lot of my urban musicians that's how they make that music just theirs. And well, or what? Now, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of more like stuff that she wouldn't let play or that wouldn't be played on her show, but she's even been in there on some of the songs have been like, hey, this is my motherfucking song. And so it's like, it's like, oh, okay, damn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Kim, if you're listening to this, sorry for calling you a bigot. I really didn't mean it. People, I just had other people have called you that. Well, let's do a dab and forget about it. Maybe in 5 minutes, our medication will get you back loving a puppet.
Oh, goodness gracious. I love it. Oh, that's a big one.
I'm trying to do a circle. Uh, Todd can do them sometimes. It's all about concentration sometimes. We've also have blown them in a puppet, like or not in a puppet. I mean in a bubble. We blew it in a bubble and it floated and then it popped and went.
So when it popped, what happened with the smoke?
The smoke came out of the bubble.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, we'll probably try it tonight. Today, we got a couple hours shot of light before our D&D. We were playing Paladin, which is a version of D&D. But that campaign is done. So now us puppets get to play Rifts, and Rifts is like a supernatural universal world with like gods and vampires and it's like the world went nuclear and you got coalition and people trying to control the world after like no government and yeah, it's like D&D meet the apocalypse.
What's the name of it?
Rifts.
Like RIFFS?
Rifts.
Rifts. Okay. I am going to check that out because that sounds epic.
Yeah, the group we're in. Yeah, the group we're in is oh wow, that was a good hit. Yeah, no, the group we're in, we've been together for like I want to say like a year, 2 years now, and been a friend of ours, Mr. Wayne. He's actually on the Kim's Network on NOK as he has a Waniac show, and he's a cowboy, and he actually has a few puppets that he started bringing up on our shows, and now he'll bring them up on his shows, and they're really cool. And he's just a character, and he's a good GM or game master. And he's very story orientated, very vocal, uses voices, very good with voices. Um, and when a player takes him in a world he didn't even think a player would take him, he's quick to like guide you on your journey in a very adventuresome way that leaves you feeling like you got your money's worth and more. And when I say that, you don't pay to D&D, but this guy probably actually, and those expensive games that you hear about, this guy would be able to pull that because of the adventures he takes you on.
See, that's awesome. That would be a lot of fun. And I always like, I have a friend like that where like she's like an amazing storyteller. And so it's always fun to go on those rides with her or those games with her because she can weave different situations and pull things out of thin air that I never would have thought possible.
Right. That won't.
Uh,
Anyways, yes, the world of imagination. I mean, that's we have a build that will probably cost us a couple $1,000s, and it is a swimming seal. And the only reason why it would be that much is because we got to buy one of them diving things to mount the camera to, human to hold on to, for safety, and just to get the shot done safely. Just that puppet alone is going to be an expensive operated puppet. And that being, if you ever did it in a big film industry, you're going to need the diver helper. You're going to need the medic on board just in case. I mean, now you're paying big salaries, but I mean, it also takes us in a whole other world with our creativity. But and hopefully someday we get to do that.
I think you will. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah, me too. I always knew I needed a port because we want a little boat so we can go out and like you know cheaply travel the world. I guess.
And is to do a puppet podcast from all over like remote locations would be fucking
Oh
epic.
man, it would be. It would be awesome. It'd be expensive though. I think. I mean, you would have to do with like where Mr. Hobby's like game plan is to get a few royalties going, circulating, a few quarterly royalties, a few whatnot. So then you can pay for like the homestead, the other stuff, and then the extra royalties are your out on adventures. You're investing, you're sponsoring yourself then. Because I mean, the hardest thing for me as a puppet, and only because I guess it's hard for me to swallow pride. We're not taught to swallow pride as puppets, and I can't swallow it, so it's hard for me to accept it. And I it's easier for me to just sponsor myself then, so that everything feels good. Because I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Fortune 500 sponsor, $5 million sponsor, and like sponsor me like Jim Henson got in like a nonprofit or a profit version way, and then like you're making commercials for that one 500 something, and then that like pays your way to go out and do your own shit. So I guess that would be now profit. So I would be I want to take it from nonprofit and be a profit puppet company.
I get that. Like, I'm just hoping that someday that this thing will be revenue generating and I won't have to do my 9 to 5 anymore. But we'll see if that pans out.
Well, that means that if you're looking for a podcaster with glasses and whatnot, he's available. And if you're looking for a puppet in the movie, I'm available.
Exactly. Oh, well, we've come up almost on an hour.
Woo!
I'm going to let you get back to your smoking sesh that you want to have after
Oh
this.
yeah, I gotta. He sent us a email or a voice thing. We gotta listen to it. And then yeah, we got like an hour's worth of daylight left before to get shot. So either way, we're hitting it working.
I love it. I love it. And where can people find your podcast?
So they can find our podcast on the NOK network. We have a Tuesday show, the puppets doing a psychedelic reporters with a human named Tara Simpson on psychedelic reporters on Knock Network on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Saturdays, we are the IWK 710 Saturday Joint Host. And we've been bringing musicians on, and they're not. Um, some are rappers, some are guitarists, some are not even music. We had you on there just last week, and so just people we want to get high with and just put on a show. Oh, I can't hear you. You went silent.
And it's so much fun to be like not only to watch, it's also so much fun to be a guest.
And we
Like
hear that a lot where
that
they say, "Oh, this is what Sesame Street would be with an adult."
I love it. I love it so much. Uh-huh. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I can't thank you
Oh, thank
enough.
you for having me on. I got to talk about some personal stuff, and that felt good.
And I'm excited to see what you all have coming next. So yeah, please check them out. This guy's awesome. One hit for the
Oh
road.
yeah, sure. Lighter, come on. Well, where's my team? Woo! That came out